I'm starting this this part of the video out with just a scene of this. You might remember that I had that bubble here, and you might remember in my last video that I had heavy weights pressing it down. I gotta tell you, that didn't work, and I don't think that the glue was setting up real well, because you know, it's being underneath tape and a weight. It was kind of just like being in its bottle. It just wasn't setting up. So what I did, this edge is now re-glued. I had the clamps all along this edge to glue this down. I got to still do the bottom part. The bottom part, the other inside of this piece of wood has loose veneer. I'm going to glue that. But I determined, I pushed that bubble down, and I think the glue was still tacky enough that I've got a tremendous amount of pressure with these clamps right over that bubble. And I'm hoping that if I leave this sit on there for a day or two, that'll at least hold it down better than it was. It just kind of stuck out like a sore thumb. Now, the one thing about putting weights on something and versus clamping it is you can get many more hundreds of pounds of pressure with a tightly clamped clamp than you can with weights, because I couldn't put heavy enough weights on this to really press that down so hard that it would really flatten it. This is my last chance to really get that bubble kind of subdued. So we'll see how it comes out after a day or so when I take the clamps back off and see if that possibly did the trick. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. If it didn't, I guess I'll just have to live with it. And so I took the clamps off, and I successfully pressed that. You can still see it, but I pressed that terrible bubble down that was in the veneer. So I'm pretty satisfied with what I was able to do with it. I'm pretty much done with gluing down the veneer on this thing, except there's some loose right here that I've got to take care of on the inside, just to glue it up so that it's not obviously loose. But the surfaces, all of the veneer, both right and left side, which was pretty warped away from the body of the cabinet, that's all been glued and clamped, and that's done. Now over here, this was the solution I came up with for the legs, and I know that if there's any orthophonic purists out there, no, these are not the same kind of legs. No, they aren't. But these will work just fine, and this is what we got to go in there. So I've got the 4 legs ready. My friend Rob took those down to his house and unscrewed the metal studs and drilled them out, and we put those dowels in, because that's how the original legs went. And then another issue is the grill cloth. As you can see, there's some tears in it, and you notice how very acoustically transparent it is. This grill cloth is extremely hard to find, and if you do find it, it's extremely expensive. What I'm going to do is just put some backing cloth where the tears are, just to kind of glue it so that the tears are not sagging in. I'm going to keep, most of the grill cloth is intact. I'm going to keep it as it is. I'm not going to pay out $100 to $200 for a piece of cloth if I can find it. So I'm pretty sure I can mend that with no problem at all. So this is pretty much as far as I'm going to get with it until I start doing the refinishing. So this project is probably going to be on hold for a while, because I'm going to wait for warmer weather outside to be able to do any stripping I got to do. I want to do outdoors and not in the house because of the fumes of the stripper. We'll see what my next plan is. So that's pretty much where this project is at this point.